Now, the fate of your biometric data is uncertain. As Minister for Communications, Dzata George reveals, he cannot locate it under the Akufo-Addo administration. A nationwide SIM card registration captured the biometric data of millions of Ghanaians aimed at streamlining cybersecurity. But more than 60 days into his tenure, Minister Dzata George told my colleague Evans Mensah on PM Express that there is no trace of the data.
That what the previous minister was doing had no basis in law, had no technical logic to it, and was completely flawed when you subjected it to a common sense test. Because you needed to, you claimed that you were doing a registration and benchmarking it to the Ghana card. Remember that. We were told that you could not register without the Ghana card. Yes. Now, the only way you can verify the authenticity of a Ghana card, because it is not just a piece of plastic card, but it's a biometrically enabled device that holds biometric data. You can only verify the authenticity of the claim of the holder of that card when you cross-reference it against the biometric data that is contained on that card. In no single instance, they say they registered 39,900,000, a few shy of 40 million SIM cards. Not one of the almost 40 million SIM cards they registered was verified against the NIA. Not one.
Really?
Yes. The NIA is the only repository that holds that as a single source of truth. So what you do, common sense, logic, is you subject what the card Bernard Evans has brought. Evans Mensah comes with a card. The card says it's Evans Mensah. You look at it, and then he gives you his Ghana card number. You enter it. But what makes that card authentic is his biometrics. That's why when you take your Ghana card to the bank, for them to do the transaction, they give you a biometric verification device for you to put your finger on and verify that it is you. No such verification was done. In fact, what they rather did was to now capture your 10 fingerprints again. In some instances, take a facial recognition again of you, but not cross-reference it against the single source of truth. So the question you must ask, from a data protection perspective, is all of that data that was taken, your fingerprints that were taken, where is that data sitting? It wasn't cross-referenced against anyone. Where is that sitting? What I intend to do at the ministry is to build a platform that's not going to be managed by a private entity. It's going to be owned and managed by the NCA. The NCA is going to have end-to-end control because the NCA is the regulator.
So let's try to understand this in a few minutes. So, Maximus Ametogo, this is your area. First, let me find out from you, if indeed the data is missing, I mean, what does it mean? And is my bio in any danger of falling into wrong hands? Hello, Mr. Ametogo. If you can unmute for me.
Right. So it's quite surprising to hear Honorable, my brother saying that they don't know where the data is. If the syncing wasn't done or the verification wasn't done, that is the next step they should take. But to say that the data we collected as government, they don't know where exactly the data has been stored, is quite surprising.
Yes, and indeed surprise for everybody because obviously, I'm not sure that the former minister will carry it with her as she exited office. But I mean, the key question for a lot of people is that is our bio, is our key information, is it in any way in danger because the minister says he can't find it?
I'm not sure to be in danger because, you know, there are protocols governing the use of data and how data is collected and managed in Ghana. So they'll follow those protocols as government, because when they are going to sue, they are going to sue the institution. They won't go and sue the previous government or the minister. So I'm not sure if it's NCA that is in charge or whoever that is in charge, they will just give the data away or will not secure the data and will fall into the hands of wrong people.
But if this is missing, I mean, where should be our first port of call? Because I understand that, I know that when the SIM registration commenced, it was the telcos that got people to undertake the registration. So the data, obviously, maybe the primary story would have been the telcos, isn't it?
The storage will not be with the telcos, possibly with maybe NCA. You may sit with them, and then the telcos are just points where people go and register. And it sits just like the way your Momo sits in the bank account, not on the software that is on your app. Right? So I'm sure NCA should know where it is. We can't say we don't know where the data is. It will be surprising.
And it will be simply impossible to describe it as missing too.
Yes, you can't say it's missing because you've collected people's data. And there are laws governing how you protect the data so that the data subject's information will not be compromised by any person, including the one who collected it. So if you are not going to use the data or don't know where the data is, so now are we going to do the re-registration now? Because that's what comes to mind now. If the data, the old one is not there, that means we are going to collect a new one. It means we are going to go through the process all over again.
In fact, the minister has already signaled process to undertake another registration of SIM cards.
Yeah, because initially we were told that they would do a software to do authentication and verification and all that, and liveliness test. It means they are going to use existing data to authenticate whether the person who is using or the person using a particular phone number is really the owner of that number. Now that we know the data that has been collected is missing or don't know where it is, then you cannot do the authentication of my number without collecting my details. Unless you tell me, okay, NCA has my phone numbers already. So I'm going to pull the information from the NIA database to do the authentication without me going to queue to register again or scan my face or take a picture of my fingers to, send to a system for the verification of my identity or as a user of a phone number.
All right.
It's quite difficult.
It is. Thank you so much, Maximus, for your explanation today.